2 weeks ago, I made a video going over whether digital downloads were a good option to sell in 2025. I went over some popular products and discussed what niches sold well. Since then, I've launched my own digital download store and decided to sell AI-generated wall art on Etsy made through Midjourney. And you're probably thinking selling AI art is oversaturated, there's too many people doing it. But I've done the research and from what I can see, it looks like they sell, but you don't really know until you do it. Now, it has been quite a process learning how to do it from scratch, but I've got a pretty good system in place, so I thought I'd share a full tutorial on how to make AI generated art to sell as digital downloads on Etsy. So first things first, when you're selling AI generated art, you need to decide which AI image generator is going to be best for you. Now, you're probably going to be overwhelmed at this step because you've got a lot of options. You've got Stable Diffusion, Adobe Firefly, ChatGPT, but the one I like to use is Midjourney. I personally think you can create the best images with Midjourney, and the variety it offers in between generations makes it hands down the best AI image generator for me. Now, that's not saying it might be the best one for you, so what I do recommend is playing about with a few different image generators and seeing what works best for the kind of images you're trying to create. However, one feature I really like with Midjourney is the ability to reference another image's style or character. Meaning that if you're struggling to get an image you like the look of, you can use another image to help reference what you're trying to create. So let me just show you quickly how you can reference the style or character of another image. So I've got this image of the Roman baths here, and what you want to do after saving it off the internet, if it's not a PNG, you need to turn it into a PNG. So I've opened it in Canva. I'm going to crop it down so we've just got the painting. Hit done. Make the image bigger. Doesn't have to be perfect because you can export it with a transparent background, but I do just like to increase the size a little bit, center it, and save that as a PNG with a transparent background. And after you've saved your image as a PNG, you just want to go over to Midjourney. You can use either the Midjourney website or Discord. I prefer Discord, but they're pretty much exactly the same. So put your image in the chat, hit enter, and then click on the image, open in browser, copy the web address, go back onto Discord, and then you're ready to do your prompt. So I'm going to do imagine, I'm going to do painting of Big Ben, busy London street, sunny day, and then you want to set the aspect ratio as 4:5 because by default Midjourney will create a square image. But I find when you're upscaling and resizing a square image, it can stretch it quite a bit and make it look a bit distorted. When you do the aspect ratio as 4:5, it doesn't seem as distorted. Well, not distorted at all, to be honest. So I find that 4:5 works the best. If you know a better aspect ratio, do let me know because obviously I'm still new to doing this. And then after the aspect ratio, you want to do --sref, which stands for style reference, and then paste the browser link. Hit enter, and this should create an image based on the style of the Roman baths image that we saved as a PNG. So you just got to wait a couple of seconds now for that image to generate. What I like about the Discord, using Midjourney through Discord as well, you can see what other people are making. So I always find that quite an entertaining thing to do while I'm waiting for my image to generate. Now, as you can see, we've got image of Big Ben in the style of the PNG that we entered. So these are the images it's generated, and these are the images of the Roman baths. So as you can see, it takes the style of the painting. So we've got heavy brush strokes, we've got browns, blues, greens, and then if we look at Big Ben, we've got heavy brush strokes, browns, blue, no green, but we've got yellow, and that's quite nice because obviously there's not very much green around Big Ben. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. And then as well as using a style reference, you can also use a character reference. So if we just do /imagine again, copy and paste the prompt in, but here we're going to change sref to cref, which stands for character reference. Now, personally, I prefer using the style reference over the character reference. I've not experimented with the character reference as much as I have with the style reference, so perhaps I could do a bit more experimenting and I might prefer the character reference. but mostly I use a style reference. So that's just generating now, as you can see. So just going to wait for that to generate, have a look at what everyone else is making. And now that's generated, we can see we've got a character reference rather than a style reference. So that changes it up a little bit and experiments with different types of colours, different types of painting style. But it's personal preference really if you prefer style reference or character reference. And then after you've got an image that you're happy with, so I'm going to upscale image 4, you click upscale 4. You can click V, that stands for variation, so you can make 4 variations on number 4 if you're not quite happy with one. But I'm going to upscale number 4 for the example for the purpose of this video. So scroll to the bottom and you can see that it's upscaled image 4, and you can do further changes. You can upscale it subtly, you can upscale it creatively, you can vary it weak or strong, or you can vary just a certain region if there's something you're not quite happy with. So after you've got your image, just go ahead, right click and save the image. So now that we've got our image, what you want to do is put it into Photoshop and resize it in 5 different aspect ratios so that when the customer prints it, it will be a high resolution. When you're resizing your Midjourney artwork, what you want to do is you want to resize it to a 2:3 aspect ratio, a 3:4 aspect ratio, a 4:5, an 11:14, and the international standard sizing, which lets you print in A1 to A5. So if you resize the image in these 5 different aspect ratios, then your customer will be able to print the artwork in all these different sizes. So to do that, you want to go onto Photoshop, go up to image, image size, and for this example, I'm going to do 20 by 30, 300 ppi, which roughly translates to 300 dpi, which is the resolution you need to print something high quality. And you can mess about with this, so you can do preserve details enlargement, but I like to do preserve details 2.0. Hit OK, and then as you can see, that has resized it to a 2:3 ratio, and it's done 20 by 30 inches. And then because we've done 20 by 30 inches in a 2:3 aspect ratio, this one image will also fit 16 by 24, 12 to 18, 10 to 15, and so on. So you're going to want to resize your image 5 times, 20 by 30, 18 to 24, 16 to 20, 11 to 14, and 23.4 by 33.1. And then just to show you that these images are 300 dpi, I've put them into Printify on a poster product, and I've put them in 12 by 18, 16 to 24, and 20 to 30. They're all the 2:3 aspect ratio, and as you can see, they've all got high resolution 300 dpi, meaning that when the customer buys a digital download, they should be able to print them at a high quality. And as you can see, this looks absolutely fine on a poster. But the mockups that Printify offer, they're no good. So if we're listing these on Etsy as a digital download, then we'll need to make our own mockups. So now that we've resized our Midjourney photo 5 times in 5 different aspect ratios, we now need to make mockups for the Etsy listing. So I bought this mockup pack off Etsy, and as you can see, this little icon, it means the layer is a smart object. So you can put an image there and it will replace the image, and your image will appear in the poster. So I've got 7 mockups here, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to do it. So you can see it's got 2:3, so you just want to drag the 2:3, click File, click Save, and click Place. And then as you can see, our artwork is in the frame. So you just want to do this 7 times over. You don't need 7 mockups, but I like to include at least 7, just so the customer can really visualize how the artwork might look in their home. So I bought a mockup pack off Etsy. I think I got about 50 or 60 mockups for around £35. So it's a little investment to make your Etsy listings look professional and stand out against the competition. So I think it's well worth the investment, and it makes the mockup process fast and easy. As you can see, we're blasting through these. So 2 more to go. And I also like to include a variety of different sizes. So as you can see, I've got a 4x5, I got an ISO, I got an 11x14, another ISO. So I think just by doing that, it will really help the customer visualize. And after we've got all 7, just want to hit save. So now we've got 7 professional looking mockups that are ready to go on Etsy. There we go. And now that you've resized the image in 5 different aspect ratios, you've made 7 mockups or however many you want to make. What you want to do is upload everything into a cloud storage. So the cloud storage I like to use is OneDrive. You can use any though, you can use Dropbox, you can use Google Drive, doesn't really matter, it's just personal preference. And once they're all in a cloud storage, what you want to do is get the link. So I like to change this to can view rather than can edit because people might delete them. Copy the link, and then what you want to do is put the link in a PDF. This is because the images will be too big to upload onto Etsy. So what you need to do is put the cloud storage link onto a PDF. So I'm just using this simple PDF template on Canva. It's pretty simple, but it looks nice and it does the job. So I just want to take out this existing link and put the OneDrive link in there. Hit done, and then you want to save this as a PDF. And then I'll show you how to upload that onto Etsy in the next step. And then this is pretty much the final step right here. And all we're doing is taking everything we've made and putting it onto Etsy. So you want to select digital files. We made it. It's a supply all tool to make things because it's a digital download that the customer is purchasing and having printed themselves. Made in 2025 with an AI generator. And you want to just put all your mockups in there. And then for the digital files bit, this is where we put our PDF. So when the customer purchases this listing, what they will receive is the Big Ben PDF, which will have the link to all the images in different aspect ratios. And then obviously just go through this, fill in the description, the price, set the quantity at 999 because that's a max you can set for Etsy. Category, I like to go wall art and then digital prints. And as you can see, that will mean it appears in 7 categories. And then I also like to fill in the attributes. That's hidden, so you have to click show all attributes and you can get a few different things here. So you can fill in the rooms, so people might put that in their kitchen, might put it in the living room, might put it in the bedroom if they really love Big Ben that much. And then obviously the tags, subject, anything here that applies, geography, I guess, landscape and scenery, and then put it in the shop section and set the renewal. I always set the renewal to automatic, and that is pretty much it. So that is how I'm using Midjourney, Photoshop, Canva and OneDrive to create AI generated art to sell as digital downloads on Etsy. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and don't forget I've only been doing this 2 weeks, so there's probably something I'm doing wrong, something I could be doing a little bit differently. So if you do sell AI wall art on Etsy and you've got any tips, feel free to drop a comment. And that's pretty much it for today's video. So I'm going to keep uploading AI generated wall art and I'll keep you all updated on the progress.